Hey, it's Film Rich and welcome back for another recap video of The Sopranos. In this episode, we're recapping Season 2, Episode 2, which is titled Do Not Resuscitate. The episode focusing on Tony's shifting family dynamics, tensions with Junior, and business dealings tied to a construction site protest. Before we get into the video, I would like to say thank you so much to the people who are watching these videos and who subscribe to my channel. Trust me, you guys haven't seen anything yet, and I'll be doing 2 giveaways once we hit 1000. I'm going to choose a follower and I'm going to choose a follower at random. So yeah, more on that to come soon. Now without further ado, let's break it down scene by scene. Tony visits Junior in the prison after a 3-week delay. He's irritated, but Junior keeps the meeting brief and guarded, warning Tony that the guards are always listening. Tony brings up the recent deaths of Junior's close associates and tells him that the balance of power has changed. Junior insists that Livia had no part in the attempted hit on Tony, but Tony doesn't buy it. Junior also warns that unless Tony reconciles with Livia, rumors about him threatening to kill her will continue to spread. Tony refuses and tells Junior to set up a meeting with Bobby Baglieri, his highest ranking soldier. Back at home, Tony confronts Janice for stealing the real estate sign from Livia's property. Janice deflects, saying she's working with a real estate friend who agreed to take a lower commission. Tony, clearly frustrated, lets it go. Janice then encourages Meadow to visit Livia at Green Grove. Janice goes to Green Grove and finds Livia emotionally distant and still stuck in her old grievances. Livia gives her a harsh lecture about not understanding her parents' sacrifices and initially tells her to leave. But later, Janice returns with old musical recordings, an idea inspired by Meadow. The music softens Livia's mood and they begin to reconnect. At a construction site, a reverend publicly criticizes the union for excluding black workers. As the workers look on, the crowd begins chanting, demanding jobs. In response, the firm's head approaches Tony to help break up the protest. Tony agrees to handle it. Tony later meets Bobby Baglieri at Satriel's. Bobby is quiet and respectful. Tony gives him a message to Pastor Junior. He can keep 5% of his businesses and retain the title of boss, but Tony now controls the rest. Bobby agrees, despite Tony's dismissive treatment. And I've always wondered, why is Tony a dickhead to Bobby at the start of the series? In court, Junior's lawyer, Harold Melvoin, argues for his release date due to a heart condition. Despite objections from government lawyers, the judge grants it. Junior is put under house arrest with an electric monitoring bracelet. After his release, Junior meets Tony at Dr. Melfi's office, a location chosen to avoid surveillance. Junior complains about his reduced income and again pressures Tony to make peace with Livia. Tony refuses, saying wiretaps prove she was complicit. Junior changes the subject and mentions that Freddie Capuano, owner of Green Grove, has been gossiping about the family, including a rumor that Junior and Livia were sexually involved and that Tony wanted to kill his mother. Shortly after the conversation, Capuano goes missing and 2 officers later find his car, abandoned and running by the Pacific River. Meadow takes Tony for a drive with Janice and agrees to visit Livia. She tells Janice that Livia enjoys listening to old records. Janice takes the tip and returns to Green Grove with more music. This time, Livia opens up to her and they share a moment of warmth. However, things take a turn. Back home, AJ overhears Janice and Tony discussing a DNR order for Livia. The next day, Meadow drives AJ to see their grandmother. During the visit, AJ accidentally reveals the DNR plan. Livia is furious. When Janice visits again, Livia shuts her once more. She later calls Carmela to say, leave her belongings to the kids, but Carmela angrily tells her not to call again. Tony meets with Jack Masserone, the construction site owner. They plan to hire dissenters to stage a counter-protest. The next morning, Tony and Pussy survey the scene, but Sean and Matthew loudly approach Tony's car, calling out his name. Annoyed at the lack of discretion, Tony drives off and scolds them for being reckless. Chris, Sean, Matt, Bobby, and others crash the protest using a baseball bat to attack protesters. Tony later meets with the Reverend's son, revealing that the protest was orchestrated as a scheme to extort money from Massarone Construction. Later, Junior is in high spirits, singing to himself while taking a shower. He slips and injures his hip. Tony arrives to find Bobby helping him and offers to call an ambulance. Junior refuses. Instead, Tony carries him by car. On the way to the hospital, Junior admits he's afraid of dying and again urges Tony to reconcile with Livia. And that wraps up Season 2, Episode 2, Do Not Resuscitate. The episode pushes forward with the fallout from Season 1, highlights Tony's growing control, and shows attempts at peace, both in the family and the street, and often tangled into deeper tensions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.